Alright guys, today's video is a historic location in the town of Lantana. Also a story of limited parking, concerned citizens, and the demise of my drone on its first flight. Details, just a moment. Alright guys, real briefly, I wanted to share the challenges I said with access to this location. If you're not visiting these businesses, 24-hour parking, towing, 24-hour towing. If you're not visiting here, you're gone. Your mess gets towed out of there. 24 hours a day makes no difference. This, of course, you're not going to park on the highway. They have postage here now where you can't park there. Definitely can't park out here. These are utility boxes. This is a large utility pole out here. It's hard to see in the video. This is the only access parking right here. And these residents here are very covetous and protective. A lot of sketchy things going on. They come out and they ask what you're doing there. You have to explain to them what you're doing and what your intent is. I chatted with them for a few moments to get to ease their concerns, and they gave me permission to go out and do what I was going to do. And they gave me a little bit of information. It was I kind of thought that the alignments were actually buried under the banyan tree, but I was incorrect. I corrected myself in the video. So also the other thing that I wanted to mention in the video that I never did was that the town of Lantana was actually named after a flower, a plant, which I did not know that. So maybe I'll throw a picture of it up for you guys. But it's named after a actual plant, and I did not know that. As far as my drone goes, first real location, I flew it, and the wind got it, and between my limited abilities and the weather, I was trying to dodge the power lines, and it's somewhere in here, right in here. And so my tears the tears that I wept are right about in here. So anyway, without further ado, we're gonna head out there, we're gonna take a look, and we're gonna do a walk around together. All right, let's go. All right guys, we're at an amazing location today. This is in the town of Lantana, Florida. Now this is a registered historic cemetery that has been here since 1892. The actual founder of Lantana, the town of Lantana, is actually buried here. The gentleman, I think his father's buried here as well, and he was the postmaster, the first postmaster of the town of Lantana. And there's also a gentleman buried over in the back corner, I believe, that was the city chief of police and was one of the original Barefoot Mailmen. If you don't know about the history of the Barefoot Mailmen in Florida, just do a quick Google search. It's pretty amazing. To get the mail, it was Florida was a pretty difficult environment before air conditioning. It was hot, mosquitoes, humidity, rain, flooding, all sorts of things. But we're going to walk through here, and I'm going to show you some of the locations where the Lyman family was put to rest. And also, interesting enough, this particular location was also the place where sailors that washed up on the beach in Lantana, which we're not that far from the beach, we're just west of the actual coast. So there were lots of people that would come in to the coast, and the ships would wreck and they would wash up, and a few of them were rescued and they were put to rest here in this cemetery. So there's a lot of history attached with this location. This is also a registered historical location for the town of Lantana and I believe the state of Florida. So you can see here, I'm going to put my light on a little bit and see if it'll help you guys. I'm going to flip this around a little bit, and you can see there's this enormous banyan tree right in the middle of the cemetery. And I believe, what I understand, the Lyman family is interred right here at this location, right under the tree. Now, I don't like to walk and trample over the stones, so I don't really walk up on the tombstones that much, but you can see that they're buried right underneath the banyan tree. I mean, literally they're underneath the banyan tree. I don't know if you guys can see up in that banyan tree, but it is beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful here. Again, I think the names face the opposite direction. This is, yes, I believe so. Now, it's been a lot of rain here, so we got a lot of flooding, but you can see all these beautiful markers in here. It's beautiful. And there's only a few markers here. Some of them are unmarked. Now, the historians say there's some that are unmarked. I think in 2012, they were trying to do a fundraiser to get a fence built around. You see this property only has a fence that faces the highway. I believe that's just state regulations. But they want to build an enclosure all the way around the cemetery. Now, I go to a lot of cemeteries that are older, historic, and they're not secured at all. There's no fencing on them at all. And there's this very beautiful little marker over here all by itself. I want to show you guys this here. Now, I believe the Lymans are underneath there, but I don't know, I could be wrong. They may be the unmarked graves. But this here, you can tell this has been here for a very long time. This just says AT at rest. I can't read it, but you can see that's very beautiful. And those are, I think they're artificial flowers. They've been there for some time. Here are the Lymans. So yes, they are interred here. Now, this Morris B. Lyman, the gentleman here, just here, the Lyman family is here. And of course, I don't want to, but this is the Lyman family. Morris B. Lyman was the actual founder of the city of Lantana, the town of Lantana, which was originally named Point Lantana, I believe. And I think this was his wife, and his father is over here. I know Morris K. was his father. So his father is here as well. And you see it's sort of like a family plot here. And over here, now I think, and again, I try not to be disrespectful when I come to these locations, but I think there's also some people buried here that were found again in wrecks, shipwrecks. And it's hard to believe that thing was put there in 1935. It looks like it was put there yesterday, doesn't it? Can you guys see that? Looks like it was just put there yesterday. That's amazing. And then you have this over here. Now, what I understand, reading the Historical Society paper, this is where the chief of police was laid to rest. The original chief of police, which was the Barefoot Mailman, he's over here. It says he's over in this corner. I think he is all the way over here. We're going to walk around the other way. And I believe that's the original chief of police for the town of Lantana. Yes, I believe this is the gentleman here. I believe this is the gentleman. I believe this was the gentleman right here who was the chief of police. And the Lyman family's over there, was the founder of Lantana. I do a lot of research, so forgive me if it takes me a minute to remember some of the information. So, yeah, so, and you can see this was founded, this cemetery was put here in 1892 by the Lyman family. Nice put here. So in 1892 they have the fence here. Now this borders Lantana Avenue. It runs east to west. And this goes all the way out. This goes all the way out property. I mean, Lantana Road goes way out west. And you see the banyan tree here. It's just absolutely beautiful. What an absolute beautiful place. Just absolutely beautiful. And over here, I don't see any name tags over here. I don't see any on this cross here. This has a name on it. And the Historical Society has a lot of these records when they were interred and all this sort of thing. And of course, I know we talked about doing some paranormal stuff and using some devices, but you can hear the road traffic is just tremendous here. And I've been here at all hours of the night. I've been here at midnight, 11, try to find a better time to come. It's always like that. The traffic is just incredible here. And you can see so over here are businesses. That's actually a parking lot that borders on that side. Residents park on this side. You see the two markers, the historic sign here. This was actually put up by the Historical Society. It says, yeah, the Lantana Historical Society and Evergreen Cemetery. Now, not to be confused with the Evergreen Cemetery and West Palm Beach. These are two different places, and they're both historic, but they have different significance. Now, this is one of the few cemeteries that was founded in the 1800s that was non-segregated. There are some non-segregated cemeteries at the turn of the century, I think in Tampa and some other locations, but in this area, it was kind of rare. Actually, the other Evergreen Cemetery is all African American, and Woodlawn was for basically the whites. So, but this particular location, they buried any who needed a place to be put to rest. They buried them here, and you can see this is just an absolute gorgeous location. Now they have this beautiful lamp up here. I'm going to turn the camera around a little bit so you can see it. At night when that thing comes on, this one right here, it just casts a beautiful pale glow over the cemetery. It's really beautiful. It's a beautiful lamp the way they put it up there. It's just absolutely gorgeous. So I could go on. I could literally go on about this location. There's so much going on here. I mean, there is sailors, shipwrecks, founders of the city here, police chiefs, just all sorts of things. Non-segregated cemetery for the turn of the century, which was unheard of, like I said, in this area. And there are also some unmarked graves here. Some people were put to rest here. They don't know who they were. And in 2012, they had an effort to try to get a fence, like I said, to put around the property. They never, to my knowledge, because I don't see a fence, they didn't really have much success with that. So hopefully maybe we can shed a little awareness on this location and how unique and how we should strive to preserve locations like this one and all the other ones. Some of the ones that we visit also are run by the cities. This is run by the city of Lantana. And so They're also, I talked to some of the residents. This is curious enough too. I talked to some of the residents, and they're very, very covetous of this location. When people drive up, I was driving up to park here because there's very little parking for this location. So very little parking. So when I drove up here, the neighbors actually were very covetous of protecting this location. They were very familiar with the history of the location, and they wanted to make sure no one was going to come in here and vandalize or defile the location. So that's very commendable as well. But anyway, guys, this is all I have today. I wanted to share this with you. It was brought to my attention. I think it's an amazing location. Like I said, there's a lot of noise here, so we can't really do much in the way of investigation. But just the fact that we were allowed to park here and we could do some walk around, share this with you, and just walk around with you guys and show you this place. It's really amazing. So that's all I got for today. So I want you guys to take care of each other. Again, I know there's a pandemic going on, so take care of each other, be healthy, and that's all I got. So I will see you on the next one. All right, guys, see you then. All right, guys, I came back to my vehicle, and I was telling you that the residents that live around here are protective and covetous over this location. I talked to the gentleman before I actually went over there and started walking around, because they wanted to know what I was doing here. I was parking in the street right in front of their house. So I had to let them know what my intentions were, and I chatted with them. And we were talking about the history of Lantana. So he said that he had this really amazing book about the history of Lantana. And I said, that's very interesting, I'd love to see it. So he said he had a copy of it and he would share it with me. But what he did is he went in his house, looked in his personal library, found that he had 2 copies of it. And look what he gave me. Can you see that? He brought that to my vehicle when I came back out of the, and this is a beautiful book. It's about these from 1921 to 2021 centennial history of the town of Lantana. So that is pretty amazing. So you never know, you make friends, treat people with respect, and try to be good, try to do the right thing. You never know, little gifts like this come your way. All right, guys, I just wanted to share that with you. I thought it was pretty amazing. I came out of my truck and he was like, here, I just want you to have this. So yeah, that's beautiful. All right, guys, that's all I got this time. This is definitely all I got. All right, we'll see you on the next one. Be good to each other. We'll see you then. All right, guys.